Hey everyone, I hope all of you are doing well today, and today we are touring Mythos, my mythology-inspired theme park that is very far from being finished, but today we will be touring what has been built so far off the main street. Now, before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more. Now, let the chaos begin. Alright, we're starting off outside of Mythos at the wardrobe building, which I don't know if many theme parks have that. I was just inspired by the Efteling, which you will see in a lot of parts of Mythos that I'm taking inspiration of the Efteling. But we're outside of Mythos, and I immediately have to say, because Mythos is still a work in progress, there's going to be jank. I try to remove as much jank as possible, but there's still going to be jank. But anyway, so as I said, we're at the wardrobe building. Again, I don't know if many theme parks have this outside of the entrance or outside of like the theme park itself, but I like the idea of like, oh, if you had like a coat or something and you expected rainy weather or something and then it's sunny like it's now, then you can drop it off. But anyway, so we're outside of Mythos, the very empty parking lot, which is actually reasonable because with the way that Mythos stands right now, there's around 300 guests in it, which is not enough to like first of all fill the parking lot, but also not enough to fill the coasters and all of the attractions. Also, I should probably walk back a bit because I changed the coaster slightly. There's going to be a POV of the coaster with the update somewhere in the video. But yeah, as I said, I updated it or changed it slightly just because there was a brake track or a brake section or yeah, I think it's called that, but I don't know for certain. Again, I have no idea about coasters, but basically, it's the thing that you put in to allow multiple trains on a single coaster. There was one there. I removed it and did some tweaking with when trains are sent out and such to still have it that there's two trains on this track, but you're not hold on for like 20 to half a minute on the drop. So yeah, I changed it, but it was also just like, it was very janky, that brake run or brake section, because you were just like jammed to the left suddenly. But yeah, change that. There's the toilet building, which, here's the thing, when it comes to the entrance, I am going to update the entrance, mostly because it's still using the basic windows, which there's nothing wrong with that. I just personally don't like them. But when it comes to the toilet building, I'm probably not going to update it because it's like 3 windows. I am not that perfectionistic that I will update a toilet building that's outside of the park that also nobody uses because it's outside of the park. And guests don't use facilities that are outside of the park. Even though it makes total sense to have a restroom outside of the park for people who are arriving or people who are going and need to go to the toilet beforehand. Gulpy. Gulpy is live. It's also the only entertainer that's in Mythos right now. But yeah, so here we have the entrance. As I said, I'm going to update it, changing out the windows mostly, and that clock. I can do so much better now. So I'm just like, I want to change that. I just keep getting distracted by Gulpy. But most of these windows I'm just going to change to, I mean, you can see them there, the way that I built windows now. Also a parking ticket booth. For the people who are wondering, how are the guests not walking through all of these things? There's no potting underneath, and if there is potting underneath, there's the fences that actually block guests from walking through stuff. So, the parking thing, completely useless. It's just pretty, but it's realistic. And also, this is built very much later because it's a very modern building compared to the entrance. You guys, there's 300 guests in the park. The queues are not. Oh, and then you suddenly stop running, and then you sort of slow walk, slide a bit. Yeah. The entrance to the hotel, which is going to have an entrance on the other side as well, but on the other side you will see the jank still. But this is what I mean with like updating the windows, just to have these kinds of windows instead of the flat ones. Now everything so far, I love that little effect of the coaster that like whenever a train gets sent out, the windows blow open. It's a tiny thing, but I really like it. But I opened all of the attractions that are in Mythos right now, except for the train. And the dark ride. Why? Because the train is loud as hell. And I still am kind of suffering from the after effects of a... what do you call it? Strep throat or something, I think it's in English. I'm not going to scream to be audible over the sound of a train. But yeah, so we have the coaster, we have the little drink carts, which I really like. There's a coaster. I don't know if they cheered for the coaster or if it was just like they're happy. But this is the first drink cart that we have in Mythos, and I want more of these. And just as I said that, people are getting some drinks. It's a funny thing. It's small. Then a nice fountain. We're not going on the coaster queue yet. Well, not drink area, but like, why am I getting stuck on something? But nice to get like a sandwich or like coffee after you go through the coaster. It would have actually made sense to have like the exit of the coaster there, but it's not. So this is literally just here to make this area somewhat useful for the guest. So now you can like get a sandwich or a coffee there and watch the coaster. I don't know if another coaster is being sent up. Again, there's so few guests in Mythos now because there's not enough attractions. There's a coaster. But there's so few guests that most of the trains are just slightly empty. But yeah, so you're just like sitting. Let's just pick a nice spot. Well, actually, because of the umbrellas, you can't really see them. But there. And there it goes. And then you don't see it anymore. But this is the only spot that you can like see the drop nicely. And the crashed airplane, which is literally just like the airplanes that I used in the sort of dark ride section of the coaster, and then just pulled it apart. There's like no thinking beyond that. Just like take that airplane that I made and just pulled it apart. And then some toilets, a backstage area that we can't actually walk into. So it is staff only. Although, you know, the creator of the park should probably also be staff. But yeah, there's no potting underneath it. So now that we're in like first person mode, you can only walk where there's actual potting. So when it comes to like this square, there's potting underneath the fountain. There's just fences, like the red guest barriers. Copy! What? There's a button. Yeah, there's it. Yeah. I don't know why is there a jump mode for, or why can we jump? Also, why can we crouch? I don't know. Also, there's no sunscreen or anything. So, a lot of the guests, as you can see, are very burnt. I mean, here's the thing. This is why I place a lot of trees, but I don't think those counts as shades. Which is weird. Anyways, let's go into Volair, the one and only coaster that's in Mythos so far. You can, well, on this side of the building, you can pick up your bags. In the queue, you can drop them off. Sorry, the VIP, creator of the park, coming through, out of the way. Another tiny little thing, just waiting. Hi. There we go. It's a tiny thing, but I like those tiny, like, interactable things in queues and such. Now, I made this tour earlier, but I was in the midst of strap, so that meant my voice was basically gone afterwards. Probably not a good thing to do, like have strep or like a throat infection and then do like a voiceover for a 30-minute tour. Probably not the best idea, but what I found out is that we can skip large parts of the queue. The air balloon, that doesn't really work because it's not like it's supposed to just be gentle bobbing as it does now, but as you can see, it just shoots up in the air sometimes. I mean, the coaster is all about things malfunctioning. This is a good sign of that. Also, I should have probably changed the plotting underneath because you can go through that, but it's just like you can't actually drop off your bags because there's no path. But yeah, so just a few shades, a garden with all of the airplane pieces, autosave. If you want to test the plane, you can jump from the tower. Mythos is not eligible for lawsuits if you do decide to do that. It's probably not the right wording, but But then jumping the fence again, VIP coming through. Another train goes by. And then the interior. Like, if the Mythos is not busy, which is now, these doors would probably be open and the queue would be significantly shorter. But I am doing this tour, which means we're going to see everything. Anyway, so some drawings of like early airplanes and air balloons and what is it, the words? In Dutch it's Zeppelin, but or Zeppelin something. Also, don't know who that is. I just wanted like an 18th century painting of a guy, and there's madness in those eyes. You can't tell me that there's not crazy hiding behind those eyes. And that's what I wanted. But yeah, it's a nice little queue. Am I wrong to imagine that? To me, it just feels like this area feels like the AC would be cranked up to Arctic. I don't know why. But yeah. Here we are at the station, as I said. Oh, actually, this train is full. How many guests are in Mythos again? Oh, 400. That's high numbers for Mythos. But yeah, so probably insert POV somewhere around here as the next train arrives. I was going to wait for the train to be sent off, but I have the attention span of a squirrel. I'm not going to wait for the entire train to be full, so... Can I actually walk out of the... Oh wait, the exit is not... Well, we can walk through here, because this is, I think... Yep. So, as I said, jank. Because if a section is not visible at all, I will not decorate it. This is not visible. So we're just going through the staff area. Just nice security walking through. Again, we're good. I'm the creator of the park. I should be allowed access everywhere. Fake coaster track. Again, that area is not visible, so you're not going to see there, and there's no pot. But yeah, eventually the train is just going to come through here and boom, done. Jobsy gooden. Anyways, let's go out. More jank. I don't know why there's a random chimney. But yeah, so this is the final part actually of the coaster that still needs to be done, which is the exit for the guests with the like ride pictures and such. Maybe a tiny gift shop, because this ride seems like it would have its own gift shop, like a tiny one. Why is a guest walking through the staff? There's too much jank. But yeah, the rides, like this coaster seems like it would have a tiny gift shop. Then we have the information kiosk or information palace. It's big. I can't show you that up there. We have wheelchairs, buggies that you can rent here. It's an information desk, but I'm just kind of using it as like, oh yeah, you could rent a buggy or a wheelchair if you needed it. And if you break your leg or your neck or are in other ways mortally injured, you can go there. For other things, if you need information, you can go here. I like that these mats, like they're supposed to be like the grippy mats, but it's just plaster wall pieces just on the floor. Yeah. It looks like the entryway into a hotel or a theater with like that. But anyway, so no doors on this yet. And now we're on the main street. So we have a little industrial area that's literally just this coaster, and then you have the main street with some updated facades. I couldn't get rid of the chairs, and especially not the salt and pepper shakers. It was one of the first things that I built, and I really liked them. But I want more of these like signs of like shops. All of these names I literally pulled out of my ass. It's like, does it sound slightly French? Then it works. Marigold doesn't sound that French though. But anyways, more facades, gift shop. This shop needs a name, but I don't know what. More jank, because when I built this, there were portraits, and then I rebuilt it, or I don't know actually what I did. That like all of the, oh no, I updated my PC, which meant that like the files for all of the portraits were gone. So now it's just empty. These are like portraits from I think from the restaurant. But yeah, we have a gift shop here that's not a modular gift shop, because I built this before we got those, and I'm not removing it because I made plushies. There's actually no Arabian area plushies. Don't know why I didn't do those. I kind of forgot. Like there's Arabian area t-shirts or clothes because those are those are the Arabian area ones. But I did make a plushie for them. Oops. Also, I can't ignore it. Again, jank. That wall piece is not supposed to stick in there. And then we have the most popular ride in the entire park. It's also very loud, so I'm going to stay away from it. Copy! I don't know why the swinging chairs is so popular. And for those people who are asking where did all of the decoration go that's on top of it, I removed it because I'm going to walk further away because it's so fucking loud. But I removed it because it was lagging up the park, because it was moving pieces on top of like the moving rides, and it's like 8,000 pieces. So every time I got close to it, the entire park would just lag. And I have a beast of a PC. So what I plan on doing, and now that the ride is closed, or well, it's silent for a bit, what I'm going to do is make like the orchestra in the planters surrounding it. So the actual swinging chairs are just going to stay as it is, and you will have the orchestra or instruments popping out of the planters surrounding it. Then we have like the nice little waterfront. I should probably also look at the entrance, but we're going circular, which means we're just walking around. A nice gift shop. A lot of these shops actually, like this one, I actually made it so that I can open it. Like those doors I can open them. And so if I want to have more shops, I can just put a shop in there. I will just have to build an interior. I just thought like, oh yeah, I am the kind of person who would just be like, oh yeah, I want a shop in here. So for once, I thought in advance. I want to say that somebody asked, where's Naturalis? Or like, when is the next episode of Naturalis? Naturalis is on hold until I finish the main street of Mythos. So don't expect Naturalis for, I would say, 2 months still. But I just want to finish the main street of Mythos, and after that I will work on Naturalis again. But I first just want to finish it, because as you can see, here's the jank that I talked about. There's still unfinished facades. But anyway, so moving on. There's garbage here. Did you throw it? We will throw you into the canal. There's so much fucking garbage here. I don't think in this version I hired cleaners yet. Oops. So, yeah, there's garbage. There we have the masterpiece. The build that I'm most proud of. And that window was surprisingly easy. It's just a lot of circles and then just... yeah, it just worked. Yeah, so we have the restaurant, which I need to come up with a name for, because it used to be called the Restaurant Antoinette, but then the dark ride is based in Hotel Antoinette. You can very easily see I am not that creative with names, but the Hotel Antoinette makes more sense with the story, so I need to change the name of this restaurant. Yeah, so the restaurant, we're going to the left. I did my utmost best to hide the actual restaurant piece, because this just doesn't look like it's up to standard. This looks like an health hazard. Also, it's very dark. And then just to make it feel bigger, I just put a washing area here. Now, do I think that this restaurant would actually have like serving trays like that? No, but I had to make it work with the actual in-game item or in-game facility. And there's the stage. I would imagine that occasionally like entertainers will come up there and do like a little show. Maybe Gulpy now, because Gulpy is the only entertainer. But yeah, there's paintings, there's an autosave, and then we have the painting gallery. That roof looks like it's difficult, it wasn't. It was actually surprisingly easy to make that roof. And also, I'm so happy for the huge windows because it means there's actual light in the building. I think that's Madame Pompadour. I know a bit of French history, mostly all of like the mistresses of the French kings. But then the French kings are always named Henry or Louis. Or, yeah, Louis? So if you just say like, oh yeah, King Henry, you're at least probably 5 French kings are named Henry. And from here you can also see the Arabian area. There's also the Japanese right there. It's not going to stay there. It's just I needed to put it closer, and like the Japanese area is going to be somewhere there. Like you can see the train there, like very far in the distance. That's where the Japanese area is going to be. But yeah, funnily enough, all of the rides are so loud, you can hear the Arabian rides, or Arabian rides. It kind of fits because right now it's the only ride and the only thing that's in the Arabian area. But you can hear it in the dark rides. But anyways, moving on. Actually, let's go to the Arabian area and the sort of Japanese area right now. But yeah, so here we have the only Japanese ride so far. Why isn't it going? This is usually one of the busier rides. But yeah, I will never build a statue with a face. It just doesn't look good in Planet Coaster 2. Or well, in Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo. Because they just look like balloon animals. Or balloon figures. So none of my statues will have faces. I can actually walk over here. But yeah, so this is a bit of an example of how the Japanese area is going to look. Although a lot more mountainousy. Like, the Japanese and the Greek area are going to be very mountainous, and then all of the other areas are going to be as flat as possible. So yes, even the Norse area is going to be flat. And the ride just goes on. So this ride, inspired by Sinbad, because Sinbad always is in a storm. I did make a mistake here, as you can see. I put these awnings a little bit too low. But that's an easy fix. Now you do know for certain that like somebody pissed in that. Or threw their ashes in. Like, I learned that like it's a small world in Disney. I think a lot of people like throw in the ashes of like loved ones in the water. Also in the Haunted Mansion. And in the Haunted Mansion, I think they just get vacuumed up. So hey, I spread Grandpa's ashes in the Haunted Mansion. Now your grandpa's in the dumpster behind Disney. I always like that idea. Just like that mental idea. To me, it's just hilarious. But yeah. You will get soaked on this ride. Because it's a storm. I'm also going... As I said, the rides are very, very loud. Oh, that ride is now also going. I didn't time this at all. I'm just an idiot. Now, the soundtrack for this ride is kind of weird. It's for some reason stopped halfway through. and would just be silent for half of the ride. I think it was a bug. But yeah, now you can see the ride in action. Now that I think about it, I could have probably made that statue naked. The story makes sense with the statue naked before you ask. But probably for theme park reasons, she still has clothes on. Yeah, I'm really curious what I'm going to do with like a ride based on like Aphrodite. Because she's nude all the time. But anyways, so that ride is going to be where that terrain is. Or somewhere around there. I just placed it here to put the flat rides close together. And now let's go to prime jank material. But yeah, so this area is also going to have facades. It has none now. And you can actually see, like originally, and maybe still, I don't know if I'm going to keep this. There was going to be a path here alongside the train tracks. Because I like to have the areas be accessible through multiple ways and not just like the main entrances from the center point of the park. Also probably better for safety reasons if like an area needs to be evacuated for it to have multiple access points or exit points. But yeah, I replaced the track and I never put the road back in. But then I don't know how the track is going to be until all of the dark ride is finished. But now it's just kind of floating. There's the inversed porcupines. But this is all going to have facades. It's all going to be pretty much part of the main street. So the main street is now its whole own area. Then we're just going to face through the walls. This is going to have like a really nice arch. But now we're back on the center of the main street. We're just going this way for a bit. Also openable. I think I want to have like the vegan shop in there. And then the ice cream shop in there. That's not openable because it's something already. And then we have the back of the restaurant. Also, for some reason, this building to me just looks very British. So yes, the British have colonized Mythos. What's new? You're so loud. I love you, but you can hear that thing from everywhere in the park. A nice archway. This is the one thing that I'm very weirded out by. You hear this sound, like the that kind of sound. It's those wheels. Because these are the wheels that actually rotate. I just turned them off. However, for some reason the sound is still there. Although it does kind of work for like an old engine, so maybe I just need to put like some kind of exhaust at the back and then have it occasionally puff out a bit of smoke. But yeah, for some reason the sound just is there. And if you want to get your hair cut, here you go. Although I think at this time in... it's like 1800s. Did barbers still do amputations? If you want to get rid of your leg, maybe pay them under the table. We'll still do it. So here we have the dark ride, the Hotel Antoinetta. Eventually this facade is going to be a whole lot less pretty. Because I'm going to ruin it. Because it's supposed to be a ruined hotel. Now it just looks like it just opened. You can hear the thunderstorm. But yeah, so... the only part of the queue that's built yet. But the dark ride is closed. When the dark ride is finished, I will open those doors. But right now, it's closed. You can just hear the thunder. And then, oh, this one I want to change. Because now with the sorcery pack, we have those bottles that light up. I want to put those here because it's an apothecary based on like Nicholas Flamel, who like made the Sorcerer's Stone and I think the Elixir of Life. So I want to make something here. Maybe make some of the bottles just jump up occasionally. Like I like it when like there's tiny interactions everywhere. More jank. As I said, the other side of the entrance is finished, this side is not, but then the entire entrance is going to get updated a bit. Gulpy. Of course there's Gulpy. Yeah. Gulpy. All of the other entertainers can get fucked. I just want Gulpy. But now we basically did everything that's in Mythos. The entrance, which is going to again get updated. I'm going to keep the majority of it. I want to have like something here. There's also the lockers underneath. And the toilet, which needs doors or a proper finish. I don't know if the entrance is going to get an interior, because right now it looks like this. But with the update of the entrance and like the windows that you can see through, I might actually make an interior for the entrance. I actually forgot to just kind of look up at like some of the buildings, such as that clock tower, which is also going to be the entrance to the staff area, like underneath there. And then that gate there is going to be the entrance to the Arthurian area. I need to go to the other gate. I also want like a sort of stall here with also some information, like park maps and such, like the things that you would have at the entrance. Thank you for shutting up. But like I want to have something here as well. I just want more small stuff along the park or along the roads. And then also the last thing that I want to point out, because I'm proud of it, that gate. I really thought it was going to be huge. And for a long time it was. And then these buildings started appearing next to it. It's not that huge anymore. And those buildings are actually 2 Planko scale. Like all of these buildings, they are 2 scale. That building is just... I mean, it's medieval, so... It makes sense that it's kind of outshone by like the later era buildings. I also, tiny thing, Gulpy. I put flags on top. It's a tiny thing, but I really... It just brings a bit of life. And the flags are just like the curtains, actually. But they work for flags. You can color them, and they have movement to them. And I didn't... Like, I've seen Tadget? Yeah. I've seen him make flags with, like, all of the basic shape pieces, and I was just like, I'm fine with that. Because I have the technical aptitude of a loose bolt. Well, this is actually a good point to end the video, end the tour. So the next video is probably going to be the finishing, well, not finishing actually, but it's going to be the next part of the dark ride. Because we still need to do the queue as well, and some facades, so I forgot that. So there's going to be 2 more videos on the dark ride, then a lot of the facades still need to be finished, but all of the attractions are finished then. All of the big builds are finished, well, except for the updating of the entrance. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Mythos. Let's actually, now that Gulpy has just run off, let's just look for a nicer place. Here. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe button if you want to see more. And have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.